Hello, my name is Rick. This is the Dwarven Fortress of Peakfortunes. In this video, I'm going to talk about a Dwarf Fortress video I made with Civillain that you can watch on her channel. I'm going to show a little of the Fortress of Peakfortunes in 3D. Also, we will take a look at some of the people hanging out in the tavern. And I'm going to show off a render of a cool Minecraft world, much of which has never been seen on this channel or anywhere else in the world. So, don't touch that dial. Partly, this is a video to announce that I made an appearance on Civillain's YouTube channel. We did another episode of Talking Dwarf Fortress. She interviews me, and I talk about a variety of my experiences with Dwarf Fortress. Things like how I was introduced to it. I had a unique experience with it that is not typical of how most people learn the game. I talk about how most of my early forts ended, and how one time I had a fortress that was destroyed because of a sock. Just one sock was the downfall of an entire fort. I also talk about the story of the first real monster any of my forts faced. So if you'd like to hear two pretty good players chat about Dwarf Fortress, check out the link in the description of this video. Here's the entrance to the tavern at Peakfortunes. The tavern serves as one of the entrances to the underground fort. When you walk in, you have the bar area to your right, the dance floor to the left. The tavern has been extremely popular in this world. There are some instruments constructed to one side of the dance floor. The upper levels of this fort are bedrooms for guests, and some are actually claimed. Some by guests, others by dwarves in this fort. I guess they like the rooms in the tavern better. This top level, with a glass ceiling, was meant to give the military somewhere to practice, where they get sun to stop from being cave adapted, yet safe from rain, which apparently they find pretty traumatic these days. I'm not convinced that is actually going to work. We'll see. One of the many projects underway in Peakfortunes is this huge 10-story tall room dug out of stone. Why would the dwarves do something like this? Does it remind you of anything from Swampcavern? Here are some of the people inside the tavern. Shout out in the comments if you know why any of the following names are funny. Here's Bones, the Bone Doctor. Dr. Howard, the Surgeon. Hunter, the Ranger. Here is the fort's resident goblin poet. Every fort's got at least one, right? And because she's a legit member of our fort, we can see what she's thinking about. Mostly she's been hanging out in the tavern, watching lots of performances. Here we have Super Glass, the glassmaker. Now, we recently completed our library, so some of our dwarves have gone completely nuts reading things in the library, and this dwarf would be a good example of one of those. She's just been reading books left and right and not much else. This is Grey Axe, the fishery worker, and if you ask them what they like, sure enough, they like some gray stone and they like battle axes. So, hence the creative name Grey Axe. They are somewhat normal in that they've been spending a lot of time in the tavern watching performances, and when they're not doing that, they're reading books in the library, apparently. Here we have Terzink the astronomer, who felt satisfied after writing The Meaning of Animal Remedies. He felt satisfied after writing The History of Ampoules. So here's a dwarf who's written 2 books in the last season alone. That's kind of unusual and impressive. Over here we have Blue Jade the miner, and she's kind of interesting in that she is married to Optimist and has 3 children, including Berserky, clearly one of my naming convention kind of dwarves. And she's the daughter of Megaskunk and Ironbow. So she's kind of different in that she has a lot of family members who are actually in this fort, especially compared to all the other dwarves whose families aren't here. Now I'm moving on to this Minecraft world. It's a rather well-explored world. Quite a few different players spent a lot of time mapping this world. Here's Oceanview City. We never really did a whole lot with it. There's a tree farm, a reed farm, the main house, and the experience spawner. Here's Turtle Cove, at least what you can see of it from the render. There's the portal building over here. You've got the bank. You've got the farm area over here, the hotel, these houses on the hill. Jimmy's restaurant and office is in there somewhere. You've got this tower that I made. And one of these houses is actually a vertical shaft that goes all the way down towards the bottom of the world where there's a slime farm that works extremely well. And over here, you have the castle and Castle City. This is the pirate area. You've got the building where you first teleport in, a nice boat made by Jimmy, sail by Shelby. You've got a house that I made. You have some other beautiful structures. There's this long wooden walkway to get you up to the rich guy house on top of the hill, still under construction. Over here you have kind of a dive center area, and the town comes complete with a Stargate. Here's a place where you have almost 4 acacia cities within sight of each other. One here, 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 and here. These little white dots represent a planned railway between the cities. And you have some little places where the evil from under the earth is starting to force its way to the surface and corrupt the city around it. And here you have this beautiful overhang area, and we have some interesting plans for this place. So go check out Civillain interviewing me on her channel. I'd also like to recommend some series on mine. If you're looking for something to do these days, my best videos can always be found by going to the video part of my channel. It's sorted newest first, and those are always going to be the best ones. My tutorials and Swampcavern Season 2 have been the most popular lately. I still really like the videos where we fought the dragon in Minecraft. I did a series, Swampcavern vs. the Devils, quite some time ago, so it's a little rough around the edges, but I still like it. I'd tried fighting the devils in other forts, and it never went well. Have you ever tried fighting the devils in Dwarf Fortress? It's not easy. I imagine it doesn't go well for most people. Could a fort with warriors as powerful as the ones in Swampcavern stand a chance? The answer might not surprise you. Check them out and see for yourself. If you're looking for a story-driven video, where you didn't really need to look at the screen, I recommend my Sunless Skies series. It's mostly me reading a text-based game to you that is heavy on the atmosphere. It's a steampunk game about steam-powered spaceships flying through space. There's not a lot of pictures, and usually the only on-screen action is the steamship running into enemies, and I try to describe everything that's going on, so these videos would be good to listen to. So it's perfect for eating, for cooking, cleaning up around the house, doing the dishes, whatever. If you've been enjoying my videos, you can help out the channel by liking the video, leaving a comment, or by subscribing. If you do subscribe, you have to hit the bell icon to be notified when new videos come out. I'd like to thank my fans for their continued support. You can look forward to lots of cool new stuff coming out soon. Thanks for watching.